10 rumored Brock Lesnar matches that could happen. Number 10. Ricochet. Putting Ricochet and Brock Lesnar up against each other might seem like an unrealistic idea because of the sheer size difference between the Beast and the NXT star. But even though that is the case, the style of Ricochet would make him a perfect opponent to Lesnar. There are very few things left that WWE can do with the Brock Lesnar match, but putting him against someone like Ricochet would certainly accomplish that, as his unique in-ring style, meaning he could put together some innovative moments. It would be a case of David vs Goliath, but with Ricochet's speed and incredible athletic ability, there's no doubt they could put on an incredible match. Number 9. Shane McMahon. This match might not be everyone's cup of tea, with Shane McMahon not being a full-time wrestler, nor is he one of the most talented in-ring workers that WWE has on its roster. But a potential match between Shane and Brock Lesnar could be a car crash of a match in the best way possible. Many people thought this was going to happen after Lesnar F5'd Shane following his brutal attack on Randy Orton, but those plans were scrapped and it never happened. But that doesn't mean it can't at some stage in the future. Of course, this match would need to have some form of stipulation, such as no holds barred or a street fight, as would open the battle up for a huge collision, with Shane doing what he does best and putting in some insane spots, which would only help put Lesnar over even more. It wouldn't be a wrestling classic, but it could be a brilliant fight. Number 8. Seth Rollins. Technically, we have seen Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar compete against each other on numerous occasions, being involved in several triple threats and even having a one-on-one match at Battleground, but they have all simply worked as teasers to what a full singles match between them could be. The Battleground match never got an official ending due to the interference of The Undertaker, and therefore fans have never seen a singles match fully play out between Rollins and Lesnar. Yet everyone knows they can produce magic together. With Seth Rollins on a career high right now, and Lesnar having plenty of momentum with a record-breaking title reign, this is the perfect time for WWE to throw these two men together and see what they can come up with. Number 7. Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura and Brock Lesnar have actually wrestled before, which many fans might not be aware of, but after Lesnar left WWE following his first run with the company, he ended up competing in Japan, where he squared off with Nakamura during the early stages of his career. The vast majority of the WWE universe have never seen that match, and both Nakamura and Lesnar are very different competitors at this stage in their careers, and are now much bigger global stars, which would make this a major attraction. Number 6. Chris Jericho. Brock Lesnar and Chris Jericho have quite the history, having had a few altercations both in the ring and in real life, creating a bit of buzz from the fans about a potential match between the two. Everyone knows that eventually Jericho will be popping back in WWE, but he only does it for something meaningful, and a match with Brock Lesnar would certainly tick that box for Y2J, opening the door for him to bring his edgier New Japan character who doesn't care about anyone but himself. This is a match that wouldn't need to include any championships, as simply seeing them square off would sell itself. And even though Jericho is a step slower in the ring now, his psychology and storytelling abilities would make this entertaining. Number 5. Bobby Lashley. When Bobby Lashley finally returned to WWE the night after WrestleMania 34, this was a match that everyone was talking about, with many fans expecting WWE to pull the trigger on a main event match between the two. So far, there hasn't been a tease. This is a match that fans have been wanting for years, so there's no reason that it can't be a success. All WWE has to do is book both men strong and throw them into the ring and let them battle it out in physical encounter. Number 4. Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight has been making quite the name for himself since he joined WWE, and it has been great to see the rise of the UK division with him at the top while breaking into NXT at the same time. There's no doubt though that bigger and better things await Pete Dunne. For a man as talented as him, it's never going to be stuck on the developmental brand forever, and whenever the time comes for the main roster push, a massive feud with Brock Lesnar would be epic. We all know Lesnar can bump and sell to make a smaller opponent look good, and with Dunne's body manipulation and his facial expressions to react to the Beast and Paul Heyman, this could be a great feud. Number 3. Aleister Black. Back to NXT now, and arguably one of the very best wrestlers in the world today, Aleister Black. The current NXT champion would be a dream opponent for many people on the main roster right now, and Brock Lesnar is certainly one of them. Aleister Black has an incredible in-ring style that blends kickboxing with traditional wrestling and high flying at the same time, making him a fairly unique opponent that could bring the best out of Lesnar. Should they ever get the chance to work together, then they could pull out something special. Just imagine Aleister Black reversing an F5 into his Black Mass finisher, or rolling through a suplex to do his sit-down taunt. The options are endless. Number 2. Kenny Omega. He might not be part of WWE right now, but that doesn't mean that a potential match between them can never happen. After all, Kenny Omega is arguably the best wrestler in the world right now, so why wouldn't people want to see him clash with Brock Lesnar? Sure, Lesnar might be going away from WWE soon, but there's nothing to say he won't return one more time for a final run with the company, potentially when Omega might have joined, meaning this match could easily happen. The Golden Elite member works a very strong, hard-hitting Japanese style, which would blend well with Lesnar's equally stiff MMA style, and if the chemistry was right between them, there's no reason they couldn't put on a classic. Number 1. Daniel Bryan. This was a match we were originally meant to see when Brock Lesnar squashed John Cena at SummerSlam, with Daniel Bryan supposedly be the man who's going to be in that spot until his injuries force him to take time away from the ring. However, fans have never given up on the idea of seeing Bryan and the Beast lock up in the ring, and Bryan himself has remained vocal about that being the match he most wants to have now that he's back in WWE. Lesnar works incredibly well with smaller talent and would sell like crazy to make Bryan look credible, and when you add his technical and submission based moveset against Lesnar's pure power, it could be an absolute masterclass. Not to mention Bryan was creating a style specifically for wrestling Brock that we have never been able to see, and if he's willing to put that much effort into the preparation, it shows his passion, which will lead to a good match.